So it's my turn now. Now we are in the final segment of the podcast. I call it Beneath the Accent because we are knowing each other beneath the accent. I've got a couple of questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence or however you feel like. The idea is just to know more about Vrinda. So, ready?
Ready.
First, the classic question: what advice would you give to Vrinda, who is in the initial months of landing in Canada?
What advice? Stay positive.
Describe a moment when you experienced a significant cultural difference that surprised you.
Significant cultural difference. I think I'll go back to time in Weyburn. I think it's so rural that it's
Hmm.
very hard to relate to a lot of things that people do differently.
Okay.
If I had to name one, it's it's just the I don't know, ice fishing.
Okay. I never heard about that.
Who does ice fishing? That was a shocker to me. A lot of people do ice fishing apparently.
Okay.
That's what that it's a different, feeling comfortable in the cold, the minus 45, sitting
Hmm.
outside fishing.
Yeah.
I still can't relate to that. So
Mm.
that could be me. Now, I appreciate it. I would
Yeah.
enjoy doing it if someone teaches me how to do it. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong. But
Yeah.
that's something that was I was blown away. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
you do that?
Okay.
Okay, good for
Yeah.
you.
What's this one dish from your home country that always brings you comfort and nostalgia?
Chole Bhature,
Oh, okay.
anytime. Or Golgappa.
Okay. What's your favorite cultural festival or celebration in Canada? And how do you usually celebrate it?
In Canada, I think Thanksgiving, if it
Hmm.
if it has to be Canadian,
Yeah.
um, Thanksgiving, because I feel like anybody can relate to Thanksgiving. I don't think you need to be from a certain culture to be able to give thanks for what you have. And I think we don't express gratitude enough for what we have. And I think taking that
Hmm.
moment, that day off to be with your family, to be thankful for your family, I think I would definitely, we do that year over year. We make an attempt to, do what we can to say thanks and get together. And I think that would be one thing Canadian. And if it is Indian, I think Diwali is
Okay.
something definitely we like to enjoy. We, get together with friends, play cards,
Yeah.
do what we, used to do in Delhi, I guess.
Okay. And is there something from your home country or your tradition that you have managed to preserve up until today in Canada? Any object?
My mother's ring. I got that
Okay.
when I got married, and
Hmm.
I still have it. I still wear it. So it's very near and dear to me, and that would be one thing that comes to my mind that I've carried.
Tell us about your first friend that you made in Canada.
First friend that I made in Canada. Oh, wow. Yes. You know what? When I first came to Saskatchewan, BC, not that many friends, but when we first came to
Hmm.
Weyburn, Saskatchewan, my husband was, he was there already for 3 months and was craving Indian food. So he took me to a real Canadian superstore there. And I didn't know where to look for these things, right?
Hmm.
They don't have a lot of Indian stuff there, but they did. So he wanted to have, I don't know, chole or something. I don't know what he wanted to have at that time, but I saw an Indian person walking
Okay.
in superstore. I followed them.
Okay.
I made an attempt to introduce myself and say hello, and I started speaking. Uh, and I asked them, "Aap Hindi bolte ho?" I asked them, "Do you speak Hindi?" And he said yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he got very excited because they also didn't have too many people, and he said, "You know what? You should meet my wife. She works for Walmart."
Hmm.
And it was such a small. I said, "Yeah, sure. We're going to Walmart now." So he told me her name. I went to Walmart. I asked for Rimmi. Her name is
Hmm.
Ramandeep Kaur.
Okay.
They're also from Punjab. And believe me, we became the thick of friends. We still are friends. We went to
Oh,
Vegas earlier
wow.
this year. We went to Vegas, my husband and I. Rimi posted on Facebook that she's on her way. We met in Vegas after so many years. So we were in Weyburn. They moved to Vancouver. We moved to Toronto. But we
Hmm.
have some fond memories of, if you want to, if you, when that question comes to me, who's your first friend in Canada? I would say it was Remy and Simran. They were
Oh,
our best
wow.
friends, and they continue to be very, in touch.
That's an incredible story. I love that.
I know. I do
Amazing.
things like this.
Yeah, amazing. And have you tried maple syrup on anything surprising?
I'm not a big fan of maple syrup,
Oh, okay.
so not. Oh, I am lying. So we were in Quebec 2 weeks ago, and we had a
Okay.
maple syrup whiskey,
Okay. How was? Did you
which
like
is
it?
it was not bad. It was too sweet for whiskey, but
Okay.
it was a different flavor. It was a smoky maple syrup flavor. So that's something different. That combination of maple syrup and whiskey. I would never even thought of it. But we had that on a cruise that in Quebec, which is pretty neat.
Okay. If you could create this one law that everybody has to follow, what would it be?
Really thoughtful questions, thought provoking. One law that everybody should follow
Mhm.
in Canada or generally?
In general. If you want to separate, that would be even better. But whatever you say.
I would just say stop the fight that's happening in the world right now.
Hmm.
If I
Yeah.
can introduce a law that can just have peace in the world, I think
Hmm.
it's important. And I'm not just saying it to sound really good. It's really hurtful to see. I've
Yeah.
been following the Hamas,
I agree with you. Yeah.
Israel war so closely, and it's just so hurtful to hear and see people who have nothing to do with this war, but they're getting hurt. And this is just going to add to the agony of war as we move forward. People who are being hurt for no reason are going to stand up and start fighting for no reason because they were
Hmm.
hurt. And that's kind of the history that we've been seeing. And I think if I had the ability to create a law, and that would be it, right? No fighting, like stop it. What is
Yeah.
this? Same thing in
Absolutely.
Ukraine, and it's just been going on for almost 2 years now. What is this? It's impacting everybody across the globe, and if this is
Yeah.
going to lead to world war, can you imagine? Like, what is the lives of our future going to look like?
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
good. So yeah, that
Well.
would be me. I know it's sad, but that just comes to my mind, and following it so closely, I think all of
Yeah.
us are impacted in some way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think seeing me as well, coming across all those posts and stories, I think definitely I would have created the same law to please have peace. So stop.
Have peace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop it.
Okay. If you could swap lives with somebody for a day, who would it be and why?
Nobody. I love my life. I'm very thankful. I don't want to go become somebody else. No, I think
Okay.
I'm grateful, very humble for everything that I have. And I think, gratitude is important. I'm very grateful. I'm not looking to become somebody else.
Love
No.
that. Do you have any quirky habits or rituals that you follow in your daily routine?
Oh, I don't know if I want to say that or share that. I love my coffee in the morning.
Okay.
It's non-negotiable. And that coffee, I love to have it as soon as I wake up and, relax watching TV first thing in the morning. News, basically.
If you could be a contestant on any reality TV show, which one would you choose?
It would be a musical show because
Okay.
I have learned Carnatic classical music for 14 years of my life, and I do believe
Okay.
that, I've sung in the radio and stuff like that. So if I want
Oh,
to
wow.
revive that, I would do that for sure.
Okay. So this is also sort of like a radio platform. Can you sing something for us? I would love that.
Oh, I'm not
Why not?
ready.
Nobody is judging. No, no judgment here. Safe zone.
Okay, there's no music, but okay. अजीब दास्तां है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी न वो समझ सके न हम ट ट ट ट ट ट ट अजीब दास्तां है ये कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी न वो समझ सके न हम That's it.
Love that. Beautiful. Applause. Love that.
Thank you. Thank you for making me sing, Gurasis. I wasn't
Uh,
ready for that.
you're never ready for these conversations, so it's absolutely
I
fine.
know. Impromptu.
So describe Canada in one word or a sentence.
Land of possibilities. Safe. I can say that for now.
If you could leave me with one piece of advice, what would it be?
You're killing it. One piece of advice I would say, not for you per se, just generally, this is one thing I do believe in, and it is, it's not the smartest person who always gets that promotion or moves forward. It's the person who's the hungriest,
Hmm.
who moves forward. And you know how I came about this after I watched your podcast is also very relatable to, you know, from what I shared in the beginning of my in school, not being academically
Yeah.
inclined, being in sports and stuff. It's not always the people who are smartest, who have the best grades, who go forward or who are really good at what they do. It's how hungry you are to get go to the next, you know, level or what have you in life, just generally in life, whether it could be career or whatever. I feel that. So that would be my piece, to be hungry to, you know, to really want to do better at what you really think you want to do in life. Be hungry for it. I think people
Yeah.
succeed.
I love that. I think a few years ago I came across this quote that says, I think it was from The Alchemist, from the book Alchemist. It says, it's not the fastest or the smartest person who wins, it's the person who thinks he can who wins. And
Wow.
I love
Yeah,
that.
this
Yeah.
is so true.
Yeah.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Put your mind and heart to it, you can do it.
Yeah. And finally, how would you describe your experience of being on the podcast?
Oh my God. I don't have words. I think I will be selling this show short if I didn't use the proper adjectives to actually describe this hour and a half that I spent with you, Gracies. I think it was absolutely humbling. It was comes to my mind really, because you put me at that pedestal with your fantastic words to describe or open this whole season. I'm really honored. I think you bring out the best in people, if I can put it that way. Your questions are
Hmm.
very thought provoking. I wouldn't have thought about, uh, people don't think about these things about themselves unless questions are asked, and
Yeah.
that's why I say I feel very honored to be here, because this opportunity has actually made me think about things about my life, about me,
Hmm.
that I wouldn't have otherwise thought. And same thing with your podcast, with everybody else that I've heard so far. I think you kind of indulge in a conversation which is so meaningful, not just for your show, but for the person who's actually on your show and also for your listeners. So kudos to you for doing that, taking that time out. And I think it's becoming just popular and more popular. So thank you.